A friend just asked me if he should build his whole startup this weekend, and I think about it quite a bit. And the interesting thing is, like, most people have the issue of even starting. So starting is always good, but the interesting part is building has never been one of the biggest issues. Now you can build super fast, but marketing, distributing, getting actual users is incredibly hard and has become even harder now that there's a lot more competition. In 2021, 2022, me and my wife, we worked for 6 months on an Airbnb for a dog owners startup. Actually got featured in our local newspaper, and it's actually a really cool idea, and we got a lot of positive feedback. And we hired a development team from the Ukraine to help us do the whole front end, the back end, and the whole web app was working. We did a lot of testing with users. Unfortunately, the product market fit and the value market fit was not there. And one of the realizations came to us after like 5 or 6 months when we came out of alpha and we started trying to attract paying customers, and the fee wasn't that high. It was around like $150 per year. But people didn't really have the incentive to buy right now. And we realized, okay, people don't really want to pay for our app, and we wasted a lot of money building something that no one wanted. A few weeks later, I came to the realization we would have been a lot more successful if we had just used all of that money that we actually spent for the development to build a newsletter around dog owners, use that money on ads to get new subscribers, and then through questioning, through understanding our subscribers, figure out what their actual pain points are and what they are really ready to pay right now to solve that problem. If AI can build the whole app, what part can it not do? What part is missing that is incredibly important that can decide if this app works or not? And from my experience, I understood that your decisions, the experiences that you've made, be it personal projects, hobbies, or work experience, is something that the AI cannot just take away from you. So that's something that is your own, and you can actually stream into the app and make sure that that makes the whole app better. So your taste, deciding on how to visualize some things or how the logic should work in the back end, all of that is your own. And the more creative and the more you can feed from your experiences, the better it will become. Now, of course, if you're not actually solving a really, really important problem and issue for a target audience, then you're going to have a very hard time that they will pay for your solution. And when you've got a really good problem, you're going to have to find the people that are interested, and you're going to have to let them know that your solution is there. And that is also an incredibly hard problem to solve, and that was also an incredibly hard problem to solve before AI was able to build all of these apps. Now, with everyone being able to build something, you're going to have a lot more competition while marketing. Now, if we come back to that initial question about creating an AI startup in a weekend, I think starting is definitely great. I wouldn't build or try to build the whole thing in a weekend. It's just, first of all, you need to be able to validate that your idea is good. So one thing that you can do is you can try and focus on making a small proof of concept, and then trying to share that on different social media platforms, TikTok, YouTube, Reddit, Instagram, and so on. And then maybe even share it with your network and get some feedback there and see if your idea resonates, if your way of solving a really important problem is something that other people also recognize and they're really interested, and you will notice that. So if you're trying to validate an idea, and that's something that I recommended to that friend, that he do that before he actually starts building his own app. Because if he does that and he notices no one is actually interested in that solution, he's going to actually save a lot of time, save a lot of resources by not having to build a really complicated web app that no one actually wants to use. Last tip I actually gave that friend, and it's the one tip I'd actually give to everyone that is building now with or without AI, and that is learn how to market and distribute your apps incredibly well. If you learn that one skill, you're actually going to be really successful, because building with AI has become so incredibly easy that anyone can actually just, either with Claude Code or any of the other available tools out there, in a weekend already start developing their ideas around an app. Many people are actually sharing their ideas, they're sharing the apps that they're building, and everything is nice, but when you look closer, you notice that very, very little of them actually have paying users.